On a wild, stormy night, filled with howling winds and crackling lightning, 12-year-old Ellie pressed her nose against the window of her small house in Willow Creek. Thunder rolled across the skies and the rain hammered down until a sudden flash lit up the backyard. Something wasn't right. In the middle of the garden stood a door. It wasn't there before, a glowing, shimmering golden door, as though it had been plucked from a dream or a secret. Ellie's heart pounded, a mix of fear and excitement rushing through her. Grabbing her flashlight, she slipped into her raincoat and boots, her footsteps muffled by the wet earth as she approached the door. Strangely, the storm seemed quieter here, as though the glowing door had its own serene globe of calm. Her fingers brushed against the ornate carvings on its surface, swirling patterns of stars, moons, and a keyhole. She hesitated. Then, as though the door sensed her presence, it creaked open all on its own. A burst of light engulfed her, forcing her to shield her eyes. Slowly, she peeked through her fingers and gasped. On the other side wasn't her backyard, but a breathtaking world beyond imagination. Floating islands danced in the air under violet skies. Cascading waterfalls shimmered like liquid crystal, and the forests glowed faintly with soft bioluminescent hues. Every step seemed alive, from flowers that giggled when touched to trees with wise grandfatherly faces. Ellie's curiosity burned hotter now. She stepped through the door, which immediately vanished behind her, but before panic could set in, a rustling in the bushes caught her ear. Then came the sneeze, a small puff of fire and smoke! Ellie turned to see a tiny dragon no bigger than a dog. Its turquoise scales glittered, but its grin was unmistakably mischievous. "Well, if you're going to barge into Magic Valley," it said, "shouldn't introductions come first?" Ellie blinked. "You talk?" "Of course I talk. Name's Flintspark. Call me Flint for short. You'll need me if you're planning to fix this mess." "Mess," Ellie repeated, wide-eyed. Flint pointed toward the glowing horizon, where dark storm clouds swirled ominously above a giant stone tower. Magic Valley's ancient guardians. They're a little grumpy. They hid the valley's heart in that tower. If it stays locked, the valley starts to wither. And judging by the way you humans attract trouble, you'll be needing my help. Thus began the adventure of Ellie and Flint. Together, they raced through enchanted forests, where shimmering creatures darted between glowing trees. They crossed sparkling rainbow bridges that bent and twisted unexpectedly. Along the way, Flint's antics, including sneezing fire onto a riddle scroll, left Ellie rolling her eyes but secretly enjoying his company. But the valley wasn't without its dangers. Guardians made of stone and shadow pursued them, their steps shaking the ground. Ellie proved her bravery, leading the way across floating ruins and solving ancient riddles engraved into the glowing rocks. The final trial was at the tower's peak, a puzzle only solvable when trust between dragon and girl was complete. With a triumphant burst of light, the valley's enchanted heart was restored, and the skies shone in dazzling hues. The guardians bowed, their faces turning serene. Ellie gazed at her new friend, her heart swelling with pride and gratitude. Returning home through the reappearing golden door, Ellie looked back one last time. Flint, now perched on the valley's highest crystal spire, waved with both fire and flare. She would never forget Magic Valley. Not the adventure, nor the courage it awakened within her. And as the door faded from her garden with the first morning light, Ellie smiled. She knew somehow the whole world now felt a little more magical. Forever.